Oh, look at them. Aren't they beautiful? I love horses.
I love horses. I love horses. I love horses. We love horses. I want a horse.
Horses make great companions.
They're just companions. It's nice to have someone that's always there. They're easy to get along with, and they're really enjoyable, and they make really good companions.
Horses are fun.
Horses are cool.
Give me this.
She likes to kiss them.
I like to kiss it.
Horses are lovable.
This big hat.
I play around with him, I pet him, I give him treats.
Horses are fun, but they are also a big responsibility. There are some things you should consider before you get a horse. A good instructor, like Miss Nancy, will teach you more than just how to ride. You should learn the parts of a horse.
Before you buy a horse, it's important for you to learn the parts of the horse. The poll, the wither, the neck, the breastbone, point of the shoulder, forearm, fetlock joint, hoof. The horse's back wants to be in proportion with the length of the neck and the length of the leg. The croup, the loin, the hip, stifle joint, hock, which is also a joint, fetlock joint, and foot. All right, Kelly, Mommy, I'll eat so about a quarter.
An instructor will also teach you how to care for your horse, like proper feeding. You'll learn your horse's special diet needs, from oats and sweet feed to fresh hay. A horse also needs plenty of clean, fresh water. Your instructor will show you ways to make sure that your horse stays healthy, which includes proper exercise. Your instructor will also teach you how to provide a good home for your horse. Whether it's at home or at a boarding facility. You'll learn the importance of keeping a stall clean. Your horse should always have room to stretch his legs and exercise. You should have a clean, dry space to store hay and bedding. It's nice to have running water nearby. You will also learn how to keep your horse clean and learn proper grooming techniques to keep your horse happy and healthy.
Brushing a horse, there's a lot of various brushes and equipment you can use. For example, when you get a horse out of a field and it's really muddy, this is a hard bristled brush. I'd be careful where you use it. It's like really stiff. I wouldn't use it around the face or the legs, but anywhere else on the body, it gets dirt out. It's pretty nice. And then after that, this is called a dandy brush. It just gets off loose dirt and nice and soft. You can use it pretty much anywhere. I wouldn't use it on the mane and tail. It's not going to do much for you. This thing, it's not a brush, but it's called like a scrubby, and it takes the place of a brush. It's really nice. It just shines their coat, but it gets dirt off too. And then a hoof pick their feet.
The easiest way to pick it is to go around the rim of the shoe, away from the frog area, and start to get the dirt out. Always pick from the heel to the toe. Now you can see the frog. Now you want to go right beside the frog at the corner of the shoe on both sides. This is a good opportunity for you to take a good look at the shoes to make sure that there's no nails working their way loose. Run your hand around it. And also you want to see how the shoe's sitting on the foot. Oftentimes the shoes will move if they're loose, and they can hurt the bulbs of their heel with the shoe.
There are two basic styles of tack and riding, English and Western.
Today we'd like to take and introduce you to our pony Sunny, and this is Bugs, and they're here today to show you some of the tack and equipment that they use when you ride English as Sunny's tack, or in Western tack, in a Western style of riding. Some of the similarities you'll notice between both animals is they have what we call a bridle. The English bridle, you'll notice, has a cavison which goes across the nose, where the Western bridle does not. The English bridle has the cavison mainly as to help control and frame your horse, where the Western horse, they don't want to interfere with his head too much because of the type of work and style of riding that's developed from it. They both wear saddles. The difference between your English and your Western saddle is your Western saddle is designed as a working saddle. Originally the cowboys out west went out there and they worked every day. They rode horses hard. They needed something to hang on with. They had cows they had to work. Well, that English saddle there, if you'll notice, doesn't have anything to put your rope on. It would be kind of hard to rope your cow with that English saddle. Your horn is designed not for you to hold on to, but it's there, it serves a purpose. Nowadays, most people that ride Western take and show for pleasure and enjoyment. And you'll notice when you watch a Western showmanship class, or a pleasure class, or even a reining class where the horse is judged on its athletic abilities, that nobody's holding on to that horn. Now it's pretty much there for decoration. Your English saddle, if you'll notice, does not have all the shoulder and the horn up front because it adds extra weight over the horse's shoulders. You go out, you ride English, you're going out there to fox hunt and jump and have a good time. Your horse needs to be able to move. Riding is a team sport. If you'll notice, the English saddle that Sunny has on, he has these tiny little leathers with these nice little metal stirrups that have a rubber band on them. Those are called peacock stirrups, and they're designed, if you're ever out jumping and your horse decides to stop, your foot can fall out so you don't get drug or hung. your Western saddle is designed as a working saddle. The leathers and stirrups are much heavier. They take a lot of weight and stress when you're out there working those cattle. The saddle is designed for the use. Both types of riding are great.
To properly saddle a horse, you should start with a nice clean saddle pad. It should be positioned over the top of the horse's withers with the keepers toward the front of the horse. Next, a foam saddle pad or a bounce pad protects and cushions the horse's back. Make sure that the saddle is properly positioned. With the pads underneath lying flat and not bunched. Pull the saddle pad up in front so that it doesn't pinch the withers. The saddle pad keepers are attached to the saddle's billet straps to secure the pad and saddle together. The girth is also attached to the billet straps. Snickers wears a hunter breastplate. This is an optional piece of tack that helps keep your saddle in its proper position. The breastplate is placed over Snickers' head to encircle his neck. Be sure to re-secure the halter before you continue. The breastplate's bottom strap is attached to the girth. The girth is then loosely attached to the saddle's billet straps. We'll tighten this more later. The breastplate's side straps are secured to metal rings on the saddle. Make sure that it is fitted properly to allow for freedom of shoulder movement. Now for the bridle. Place the reins over the head so that you will have control of the horse. Then, remove the halter. Gather the top of the bridle in your right hand and place the bit gently against the horse's teeth. Don't push. Sometimes it takes a second try. Place the bit gently against the horse's teeth. You can use your thumb to encourage him to open his mouth. Make sure that the brow band is positioned properly, pulling the ears through gently and freeing the forelock. Adjust the nose band. Adjust the throat lash. Fitted properly will allow 3 fingers between the throat and strap. Snickers is wearing a martingale, which helps him keep his head in proper position. The martingale is attached to the hunter breastplate at the chest and to the bridle on the noseband. Double check to make sure your bridle fits comfortably. Finally, securing all straps in their keepers to keep them from distracting or chafing your horse. You can settle the girth by stretching the horse's front legs. This makes sure that when you tighten the girth, it doesn't pinch. Stretching also helps limber your horse for riding. Tighten the girth before walking your horse to the riding area. Once there, check it once more before you begin riding. Once you're properly tacked, it's time to go riding.
I used to ride my dog.
I guess.
It's important to wear a hard hat when you go riding.
All right, Rose. All right. Okay. Legs on the mane, laying real lightly on her back. Very nice, Rose. Sideways.
Learn to feel comfortable on a horse. Develop your balance.
Very nice. Good. Arms up. Right. Good, Rose. And slowly back up. Arms up.
Sometimes you'll start on a lead line so that you can concentrate on your technique.
Don't spill my tea. Good.
Okay, Dad's coming.
All right, eyes up. Steer. Good, Rose. Keep on going. Good girl. Put your foot. Press. And walk. Take a lot of her. Please go. Stop walking. You're going to Jennifer this time, I think.
Your instructor will teach you how to communicate with your horse.
I love horses.
The language that you have, that you talk to the horse when you're riding, is called your aids. This is how you communicate with him. You have the leg aid, your seat and weight on the horse's back, your balance, the straight line from your ear, shoulder, hip, and ankle, so that you're completely in balance on the horse's back. Your head and shoulder, and your voice, and your hands. Your head and shoulder are your turning signal. If you're going to make a turn, you need to turn and look in the direction that you're going and bring your outside shoulder to alert the horse that he's going to be making a bend or a turn. Your legs turn the body. Your outside leg pushes against the horse. The inside leg stays against the horse so that the turn isn't too sharp. You'll transfer your weight in the saddle to accommodate the centrifugal force of a turn. You need to stay straight up and down even though the horse is bending. So you're going to compensate by putting a little bit more weight in one hip or the other. And your hands are finally going to turn the head and neck of the horse. The hands affect from the bit to the shoulder. The leg and seat affect the horse from the shoulder all the way back. And your voice. You can always stop a horse with a nice whoa rather than pulling 13.
Talk to your instructor and parents about what your horse will need. Make a budget to see how much it will cost to feed and care for your horse. Make sure you include feed, bedding and grooming supplies, vet checkups, the cost of boarding a horse, farrier visits, tack, and any miscellaneous costs like trailering.
That's a good list, Jessica, you've come up with.
Once you've learned to ride and care for a horse, you have a safe home, and have established a budget for your horse's upkeep, now it's time for the fun part. Finding the perfect horse for you. What kind of horse would be right for you? Get out and see a lot of horses. Horse shows are a good place to start. It's a wonderful place to see many breeds and colors of horses. Talk to people about their horses.
He's not a push-button pony, but he's not actually hard to ride. He's a challenge, but it's fun to ride him.
Your riding instructor can also help you find the right horse. Consider what kind of activities you'll be doing.
They need to be short-backed.
Do you plan on showing your horse?
I like to go to horse shows. I like to have fun.
Horse shows are fun.
This is Tequila Sunrise, and he's my colt, and I'm showing him this morning in the colt class. This is his first show, so he's doing pretty good, and I hope we win.
Or maybe you plan to go trail riding. There are many beautiful places to explore on a horse.
I like to jump.
Some people like to jump.
And she likes to jump.
Yeah, I said that. I like to jump.
Jumping is a challenge.
Well, I jumped and I pulled on the reins while I was jumping. So I think it was Peppermint Patty, and she bucked and I somersaulted over her head.
It was more like I looked like a frog, all 4 feet off the ground and hit just like that. He was a trooper though, he didn't get hurt, he was fine, got right back up, kept on going.
Consider whether you'll be riding English or Western, or maybe even bareback.
There's truck, please.
Consider whether a horse or pony would better suit you. Be sure to choose a horse that suits your riding ability. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced rider. From Arabian to quarter horse to All-American. There are many breeds to choose from. State fairs are also another great place to see different kinds of horses. You might want to consider going in partners on a horse, sharing the expense, responsibility, and the fun. Consider leasing a horse to see how it will fit into your life and your budget. And some stables will give riding privileges in exchange for work.
I love horses.
So, keep riding, keep looking, and keep learning. And you're sure to find the horse that is just right for you.
One, two, three.
Good one.
Come on, son.
I love horses.